Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to Dream Room. Today, I want you to look around your home a little differently. Not as a place filled with old things, forgotten corners, and items waiting to be thrown away, but as a quiet treasure chest full of possibilities. Because sometimes the most beautiful garden decor does not begin in a luxury store. It begins with an old towel, a glass jar, a worn chair, a kitchen colander, or a forgotten drawer sitting in the garage. Maybe you live in a small house where every corner matters. Maybe your balcony is narrow, your patio is plain, your bedroom window feels empty, or your home office view needs something softer and more inspiring. Maybe you love decorating, but you do not want to waste money on expensive pieces that look beautiful in the store but feel cold and impersonal at home. This video is for you. It is for the person who enjoys creating beauty with simple hands, natural materials, and everyday objects. It is for anyone who believes a small space can still feel peaceful, charming, and full of life. And it is especially for those who want a garden that feels personal, not perfect, not costly, but warm, useful, and deeply comforting. In today's video, I will share 8 genius garden ideas using household materials that can help you transform ordinary items into cozy, budget-friendly decor for your porch, balcony, patio, bedroom window, or garden corner. And before we begin, if you enjoy simple home decor ideas, small space inspiration, and creative garden projects you can actually try, please subscribe to Dream Room. Now, let's begin with the first transformation. 1. Concrete towel planters, turning an old towel into luxury garden decor. Let's begin with one of the most surprising transformations, because this is the kind of project that makes people stop, look twice, and say, wait, you made that yourself? An old towel may not look like much. Maybe it is faded, rough around the edges, or sitting at the bottom of a laundry closet because it no longer feels nice enough for the bathroom. But in the garden, that same towel can become something sculptural, elegant, and completely unexpected. With a simple cement mix, an old towel, and an upside-down bucket, you can create a planter that looks like it belongs in a boutique garden shop. The beauty is in the folds. As the towel hangs over the bucket, it creates soft waves, deep curves, and natural draping that no store-bought mold could copy exactly. Every piece becomes one of a kind. This idea works beautifully if you have a small porch, a plain patio corner, a balcony that needs one strong focal point, or a garden bed that feels a little too flat. Instead of buying an expensive statement planter, you create your own using something already in your home. To make it, mix cement and water until it becomes smooth and thick enough to coat the towel. Soak the towel completely, then drape it over an upside-down bucket or pot. Let it cure for at least a day or two. Once it hardens, you can gently sand rough edges, add small drainage stones, fill it with soil, and plant succulents, trailing vines, or cheerful flowers. And here is the real secret. Leave it raw for a modern concrete look, or paint it in soft white stone gray, terracotta, or sage green to match your outdoor style. What was once an old towel becomes a handmade garden sculpture, proof that beauty often begins with things we almost throw away. 2. Old drawer herb garden. A forgotten piece of furniture becomes a living kitchen corner. Now let's move from something sculptural to something warm, useful, and deeply familiar. The old drawer herb garden. Many of us have a drawer somewhere that no longer belongs to anything. Maybe it came from a broken dresser. Maybe it is part of an old nightstand. Maybe it has been sitting in the garage, the storage room, or under a workbench for years, waiting for someone to decide what to do with it. Instead of throwing it away, that simple drawer can become a charming little garden for herbs, flowers, or small greenery. This idea is especially helpful if you live in a small home, decorate a balcony, or only have a narrow patio near the kitchen door. You do not need a large raised bed or a full backyard. A single drawer can hold basil, mint, parsley, thyme, chives, or even a few small flowering plants that brighten the space. To prepare it, start by cleaning the drawer and checking that the wood is still sturdy. Then line the inside with landscape fabric or plastic with small drainage holes, so the soil stays in place but extra water can escape. Add lightweight potting soil, then arrange your plants with taller herbs toward the back and softer trailing plants near the front. What makes this project beautiful is not only the greenery, it is the story. Something that once held socks, papers, or forgotten household items now holds fragrance, life, and daily usefulness. Place it on a porch table, balcony shelf, garden bench, or near a sunny window. Every time you reach for a handful of herbs, you are reminded that decorating a home is not always about buying something new. Sometimes it is about giving an old piece a gentler second life. 3. Mason jar solar lanterns, making a small garden feel magical at night. Now let's talk about one of the simplest ways to change the feeling of a garden. Light during the day, your balcony, porch, patio, or small garden corner may look pleasant enough. But when evening comes, A space can suddenly feel empty, dark, or unfinished. That is where mason jar solar lanterns become such a beautiful little upgrade. Empty glass jars are easy to find in many homes. They may have once held jam, sauce, pickles, or dry ingredients in the kitchen. But with a small solar lid, a battery tea light, a bit of wire, or simple twine, those jars can become soft, glowing lanterns that bring warmth to your outdoor space. You can place them along porch steps, hang them from balcony rails, set them on a garden table, or line them near a walkway. For viewers who enjoy sitting outside in the evening with a cup of tea, reading near a window, or relaxing after dinner, this idea makes the space feel gentle, safe, and welcoming. To make them feel more decorative, you can add small pebbles, dried moss, or a tiny natural accent inside the jar before placing the light. The glass catches the glow, the shadows soften, and suddenly a plain corner begins to feel intentional. This is not a difficult project. It does not require wiring, carpentry, or expensive outdoor lighting. It simply uses something clear, humble, and ordinary to create atmosphere. And that is the quiet beauty of this idea. A small jar once forgotten in the kitchen can become the reason your garden feels peaceful after sunset. 4. Colander strawberry planters, the kitchen tool that already has perfect drainage. Now let's move to a project that is both beautiful and practical. The colander strawberry planter. An old colander may seem like a simple kitchen tool, but for a small garden, it already has one of the most important features built in: drainage. Those little holes that once helped rinse vegetables or drain pasta can now help plant roots breathe and prevent water from sitting too long around them. This makes a colander especially useful for strawberries, herbs, and small trailing flowers. If you have a sunny porch, balcony, patio corner, pergola, or a simple shepherd's hook in the garden, this project can turn that space into something charming and productive. To begin, clean the colander well and check that the handles are strong enough for hanging. Then line the inside with cocoa liner, moss, or breathable landscape fabric. This helps hold the soil in place while still allowing extra water to escape. After that, fill it with lightweight potting mix and plant strawberries through the top, allowing the leaves and fruit to spill naturally over the sides as they grow. What makes this idea so appealing is the combination of kitchen charm and garden life. It feels rustic, familiar, and useful all at once. A metal colander can create a farmhouse look, while a painted one can add a cheerful touch to a small outdoor corner. And when the strawberries begin to hang over the edge, the whole planter feels abundant and alive. It is a gentle reminder that useful decor does not always have to be purchased. Sometimes, the perfect planter is already waiting in your kitchen cabinet. 5. Lampshade hanging flower chandelier, turning indoor decor into outdoor elegance. Now let's bring a little indoor elegance outside with an old lampshade frame. Many people throw away lampshades once the fabric becomes stained, torn, faded, or outdated. But underneath that fabric is often a strong wire frame with a beautiful shape already built into it. And with a little imagination, that frame can become a hanging flower chandelier for your porch, balcony, pergola, tree branch, or garden seating area. This idea is especially lovely if you want your outdoor space to feel more like a room. Not just a place where plants sit, but a cozy garden corner where you can relax, drink tea, read, or enjoy the evening air. To begin, remove the old fabric from the lampshade until only the wire frame remains. Clean it well, then paint it if you want it to match your garden style. A soft white finish can feel cottage-like, black can look elegant, and weathered bronze can add a rustic touch. Next, line parts of the frame with moss, cocoa liner, or lightweight planting material. Then add trailing flowers, soft greenery, or small plants that can spill gently around the edges. If your porch or balcony is too shaded for real plants, you can use artificial greenery for a lower maintenance version. For evening charm, wrap small solar fairy lights around the frame. Once it begins to glow, the whole piece feels like a garden chandelier. This project uses vertical space beautifully, which makes it perfect for small patios and balconies. And it proves that old indoor decor can become outdoor beauty with just a few thoughtful changes. 6. Concrete leaf bird bath, capturing nature's beauty in stone. Now let's slow down for a moment and look at one of the most peaceful ideas in this list, the concrete leaf bird bath. This project feels different because it does not only reuse a household material, it also captures a piece of nature itself. A large leaf, such as hosta, rhubarb, elephant ear, or any leaf with strong veins and a beautiful shape, can become the pattern for a handmade garden piece that looks quiet, natural, and deeply connected to the space around it. To make it, place the leaf vein side up over a mound of sand or soft soil so it keeps a gentle curved shape. Then spread a smooth layer of concrete over the leaf, making the center slightly thicker for strength and the edges thinner for a natural look. Once it cures, gently peel the leaf away and the pattern remains in the stone. The result can become a shallow bird bath, a water tray, a garden bowl, or a simple decorative accent tucked among flowers and greenery. What makes this idea so beautiful is the detail. Every vein, curve, and edge of the leaf becomes part of the finished piece. The original leaf may fade, but its shape stays behind, almost like a quiet memory held in stone. Place it near a flower bed, beside a small seating area, or in a peaceful balcony garden. When rainwater gathers inside or birds begin to visit, the project no longer feels like just decor. It becomes part of the living garden. 7. Broken chair flower seat, a storybook planter for small corners. Now let's look at a project that can bring instant charm to a small garden corner. The broken chair flower seat. An old wooden chair, stool, or worn patio chair may no longer be strong enough for sitting. But that does not mean it has lost its purpose. In the garden, it can become a beautiful raised planter with a gentle storybook feeling. This idea works especially well because a chair already has shape, height, and character. Instead of placing every plant on the ground, you lift the flowers up where the eye can notice them. That single change can make a small porch, narrow patio, balcony corner, or courtyard feel more layered and thoughtfully decorated. To create it, place a planter where the seat used to be, or remove the damaged seat and fit a pot into the opening. Then choose plants that soften the edges, such as trailing petunias, ivy, sweet potato vine, pansies, or even a few herbs. As the greenery spills over the sides, the chair begins to look like it has been slowly claimed by the garden. You can paint the chair soft white for a cottage feeling, sage green for a calm natural look, terracotta for warmth, or simply leave it weathered if you love rustic charm. Place it beside a porch, near a garden gate, under a tree, beside a bedroom window, or in a small courtyard where the space needs one sweet focal point. What makes this idea so lovely is its personality. It does not feel perfect or manufactured. It feels personal, gentle, and full of life, exactly the kind of decor that makes a small garden feel like home. 8. Suitcase memory garden, a tiny garden with vintage soul. For our final idea, let's end with one of the most emotional and charming transformations, the suitcase memory garden. An old suitcase can hold more than clothes. Sometimes it holds travel memories, family stories, or a quiet feeling from another season of life. And instead of letting it sit under a bed, in a closet, or in the corner of a storage room, you can turn it into a small garden full of character. This project works beautifully because the suitcase already feels like it has a story. Once opened and filled with moss, succulents, small flowers, stones, tiny paths, or soft greenery, it becomes a miniature world. It can sit on a covered porch, a patio table, a balcony corner, or a garden bench where people can stop and look closely. To prepare it, clean the suitcase first, then line the inside with plastic or landscape fabric to protect it from moisture. Add a little drainage support. Use lightweight soil and choose shallow-rooted plants that do not need too much depth. Succulents, moss, small annual flowers, and delicate trailing plants can all work beautifully. The key is to keep the arrangement layered but gentle. Taller plants can sit toward the back, while smaller textures, stones, and greenery fill the front. This gives the suitcase the feeling of a tiny garden scene. What makes this idea special is not just how it looks. It is the emotion behind it. A forgotten suitcase becomes a living display, a personal focal point, and a reminder that even the smallest object can hold beauty, memory, and new life. Conclusion: simple materials, cozy corners, beautiful new life, and that is the real beauty of decorating with household materials. You are not just saving money. You are learning to see your home with softer, more creative eyes. An old towel becomes a sculptural planter. A forgotten drawer becomes a living herb garden. A simple glass jar becomes evening light. A kitchen colander becomes a hanging strawberry basket. A lampshade frame becomes outdoor elegance. A single leaf becomes a peaceful bird bath. A broken chair becomes a storybook flower seat. And an old suitcase becomes a tiny garden filled with memory and life. So if your porch feels plain, your balcony feels too small, your patio feels unfinished, or your home office window looks out onto an empty corner, do not feel discouraged. You do not need a perfect yard or a large budget to create a space that feels warm, personal, and beautiful. Start with one object you already have. Look in the garage, the kitchen cabinet, the storage room, or the corner where old things quietly wait. Ask yourself, could this become a planter, a lantern, a shelf, a garden accent, or a little piece of beauty? Because sometimes the most meaningful decor is not the newest thing we buy. It is the forgotten thing we choose to love again. Now I would love to hear from you. Which of these 8 ideas would you try first? And what old household item do you already have that could become garden decor? Share your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed today's cozy, budget-friendly garden inspiration, please like this video, subscribe to Dream Room, And come back for more small space decor, home styling, and creative DIY garden ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.